friends. So this is going to be probably the weirdest video you will watch. I do have a couple more videos around for this subject in the program, but yeah, so this is going to be probably the easiest available for everybody to find. I do hope so. So let's get started. So I'm going to have here my chair, and we're going to be sitting on the chair because I think that is probably most lifelike. Now this chair resembles your office chair, your dining room chair, your car seat. And I just want to show first what you can see here, hopefully, that my pelvis is rotated backwards. So if I sit fully back in the chair, and there are worse chairs. There are, a car seat that is tilted too far back. Some of the really fancy schmancy office chairs are not very, they call it ergonomic, but I would argue they actually make things worse. So if you have any neck, lower back, and even hip issues, I would highly recommend you not sitting, and then especially here, see how my feet are dangling. That is not good. That's going to really create problems if your feet are not touching the floor properly. So, so the first step is to find a sitting position where your feet can touch the earth. So I'm scooting quite a bit more forward, and please do that. And then we have our pelvic anatomy. I always talk about it. Down here, the bony parts are called your sits bones, ischial tuberosity, sitting bones, and they're called that for a reason, because you should be sitting on them. They're not called behind sits bones, right? So sitting bones are here to actually almost kind of prop us a little bit forward. Now the action that is required to do this is coming from the inside of your hip here. It's called the iliacus. It's a muscle that is covering the inside of your hip, and then it's attaching to your inner thigh, and it literally does this, or it does this, right? Flexing the leg on the hip or flexing the hip on the leg. This muscle is not working if we're sitting like this. You're actually also disabling your glutes. You're stretching really long into your back. No muscle wants to be stretched, and look at my neck. It's right here. And then I want to get up, and then my head is still here, right? So this is why this is so important for any head positioning issues, neck issues, tight shoulders, whatever it is. So here we are. So we're sitting on the chair, and your feet are grounded evenly, and you're going to let your pelvis rock back a little bit. We call this the 12 o'clock. And then feel, hopefully, maybe, right? I mean, this is all part of exploration and practice, that you lost, right? You can even put your hands there, maybe. You lost the sitting bones. So you're tucking your pelvis, basically. Tucking your tail, tucking your sits bones. And then I want you to see if you can pull the sits bones down into the chair and back, and rock your pelvis forward. I'm going to rock the pelvis back and rock the pelvis forward. So this is the first step. Pelvis back and pelvis forward. The forward position is called the 6 o'clock. Let's do this a couple more times. We do this lying down, we do this sitting on the floor. We do this exercise always because I think I know it's so crucial. I just don't think, I know. And you're gonna rock the sits bones back. So feeling here as you rock your sits bones back, that's gonna induce a little bit of an arch into your back. And of course, we don't want to hyperextend our spine. And this position, just coming out of your schlumpy, I call it the schlumpy, like unorganized, disorganized, is going to pull all this pressure or pull the spine long. Now, when you're sitting here, being in this position might already feel so weird. You're like, oh, this is not even feeling good. But now the muscles in your back that are attaching to your vertebrae and your spine, even your quadratus, side bender muscle, psoas, all the ones that are in the lumbar spine, attaching to the lumbar spine, are probably already saying like, what's going on? Like, why are we here? We're usually here. Like, this is so unusual. And it might feel uncomfortable. And rightfully so, potentially. So the next thing is going to be the weirdest thing. So I'm gonna exaggerate this. So I'm sticking my butt out here. My spine comes forward. I'm extending, right? And then see if you can take your diaphragm, your bra strap area, maybe even kidney area. The kidneys are right below the lowest two rib pairs. And you just take that back. And can you see? Yes, my head. Don't worry about that. It's gonna really open that back. It's not shortened in the mid back, lower middle back, right? It is lengthened. The lumbar spine should have a little arch, but the thoracic spine is actually quite rounded. Of course, we don't want it to be like hunchbacky rounded, right? So that's yes. So it's roll back into your 6 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Let's roll back into your 12 o'clock. And then rock forward from your pelvis. So try not to rock forward from your ribs. And this is, friends, this is going to be a very intricate work, and you have to practice that a lot because it does not come easy, because your spine is highly mobile and your spine can pretty much do anything you ask her. So we're going to rock back 12 o'clock. We're going to rock forward 6 o'clock. Yes, boom, here's my arch. And then I'm going to blah. And can you feel with that blah, when you take your upper ribs back, your chest a little bit down, your heart a little bit down, just a little bit, how you can feel your abdominal muscles. Try not to worry about the head. Depending on how bad your spine is, and I say this is, I'm not saying it's going to have to stay bad, but some people's spine is bad. The longer it's going to take for you to just, find this. And permanently find it, or more often find it. And the more often you have to train this. So we're going to rock one more time back. And then we're going to pull the sits bones down and back. You can put your hands to your hip. I'm rocking my pelvis forward. And I'm going to take my diaphragm back. So the blah is your best friend. And feel. This is really about you feeling it. When you push your sits bones more down and back, you're going to feel your butt turning on. Everybody wants a better butt, right? But if we tuck our butt under, and I know people say, no, you cannot stick your butt out. I've been there. People told me for the first, I don't know how long, in my Pilates and yoga career, right? Like, no, you got to tuck it under. No, you don't. You're going to stick your butt out, and then you're going to blah. And see how my spine is not overly anything? Tiny arch, tiny curve, tiny arch. Okay. So now you say, how do I do this? I'm driving in a car. I'm sitting in an office chair. I am, get out of your lazy boy, right? Get out of your couch. The couch, you will not find that. So what I have here is a little wedge. You can see this maybe. There's a little angle here. This is a very steep wedge. You'll find something like that. So I'll show you it with the wedge first. So you're putting the wedge basically underneath your butt, and you'll feel how it's almost impossible for you now to roll back. So you find your spot where your wedge is putting your pelvis in the anterior tilt. And you take your kidneys back and just be here. So now this is something where you don't have to really think so hard and work so hard doing this. Now you need to do the work. There's no way around of practicing this with your muscles. But it is unsustainable for you to sit and do your office job or drive in your car for multiple hours and do the work, because you need to focus on traffic, you have phone calls, yeah, whatever. So this is going to be a reminder. And driving in the car, you're going to have to bring your seat forward. You're going to have to look maybe like the little old lady sitting in the car, because you're not going to hang back and drive like this, right? So also notice when you're driving, maybe, where are my shoulders? Am I hiking the shoulder up? Am I with one hand on the steering wheel, or is my elbow out to the side? Am I leaning on the window, right? So that's all options. We're trying to be just symmetrical as much as we can. So if you don't have a wedge, or you want to get a wedge, there is another option. So I don't even really go on any road trips without, a long road trip, and even, short road trip, without having a little roll with me, a towel roll. And you might even, so you'll have to check this out for yourself, how big of a roll this needs to be. So I'll start with one towel. And you're going to prop this underneath your pelvis. Yeah, that'll do for me, right? You can always add a second or double roll it up until you find that position where your pelvis is not going to rock back easily, right? So you're giving yourself the space and your body the space to breathe and not be overstretching your lumbar. But now you can sit actually quite easily up here. And again, you're going to find your blah, and you lose the blah, of course, right? And then you're going to find it again, blah. And then you're going to have to be okay with your head being too far forward. But we have to find the pelvis first. If we don't know where this is and we have no authority, contrology, that's what Mr. Pilates called Pilates, before we called it Pilates. If we have no control over our bones or our muscles, it will not work here, right? If this needs stability, and this is the stability we give it, and then this can feel much, much happier. So this is one. Maybe you have to even put a pillow, depending on your car seat, right? You might have to put even a pillow behind you at your lumbar area. You can't only do the lumbar, right? If the pelvis is tucked back and then you're trying to arch your lumbar, it's not going to work. You have to start here. And then finding a pillow for your lumbar, maybe another towel that supports you more up. And then see where my head is, right? My head can be now a little bit more on top of my rib cage. You find your blah, and this would be a huge step. Now you can practice this. Let's say you're in your office, you're going to pull the sits bones a little more back, right? You're going to push the towel roll a little more away, and then push your feet into the floor, and then feel how your butt and legs actually turn on. Pushing the feet into the floor, pushing the sits bones down and back. There's no movement. We call this isometric work, but you can feel that you're actually engaging your butt, and then blah, and feel how you're engaging your stomach. And that's 2/3 of your body kind of working, right? Not while you're driving, but while you're sitting at your desk or wherever you're sitting, right? Dining room table, wherever you have to do work. And so this is a fundamental exercise for the pelvis, for your whole body, for your spine, for your alignment. And then when we come out of this, you can practice that. So we're going to hinge forward, keep the blah, find the power in your feet, and then you're going to stand up. And guess what? Standing up now does not have to look like this. like a slouch position, and my pelvis is tucked in. Oh, my back has to stand me up. Your back is not supposed to stand you up. Your tush is supposed to stand you up. And you're going to sit back down. You stick your butt out and sit. So you can do a couple of little, these are baby squats, not so baby actually. Just working your legs here. Try not to use your arms if you need to on the table, but you're going to keep your blah. And you're going to slowly come down. See how slow can you come to sit on the chair? Aligning your knees with your second and third toes. Use your feet. Maybe already you've done your feet waking up protocol. That'd be really good. So, yeah. You can also do this sitting on the floor. I would do this again with quite a bit of towel roll underneath my butt, or a blanket or a bolster. I've shown this. There's a video with that also in the program, and where you're just pulling the sits bones back and then pull the heels down, pull the sits bones down, work your butt. Blah. And the blah is going to be the key. Now you're going to feel probably you blah, and then your pelvis tucks back. And then you have to find it again. And the technical term for this is It is that. But as long as you are a beginner in this realm here, you're going to have to contend with that. Again, it's not complicated, but it's not easy when you first start out. And even people after, sometimes a couple of months, they say, which one is 12 o'clock? Which one is 6 o'clock? And where do I have to go? That's cool. Go back to the beginning. There's a pelvic clock video. Watch the pelvic clock video again and really feel what your pelvis, or do it, right? What the pelvis is capable of doing. And you're going to just find more the 6 and more blah. And feel the engagement here, lengthening here. And then maybe you lose it, and then maybe with your blah, you lost your pelvis. All right, go back to 6 o'clock. Well, now I'm hyperextended again. Blah, your ribs. So, Okay, I hope this helps. What it also does in the long run, it's the more power you have in your legs and in your glutes, the less your brain is going to want to use your shoulders for support, because tight muscles are generally supporting your brain. Your brain makes them tight. And if we go in and we pull them and we stretch them, your brain is like, oh my God, you destabilized it again. Let's make it tighter. You will not win the fight. You're rolling that rock up the hill and it's going to roll back down. It's not going to work. I tried it, I promise. I tried it for years and it didn't work. When you change your positioning, the stuff that you do most daily, if you change your relation, your positioning in that task, your body will feel the difference. And more glutes and better hip alignment will result to better shoulders. And then you don't have to be here. And then this is almost, I'm not saying we don't need work up in the upper back. We do. And we'll talk about that. But this will resolve itself to some degree, and then you'll feel way more upright and way more aligned, and definitely less pain and less tightness. Okay, I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. I know this is a really weird thing to teach, and I know that so many people teach tuck your tailbone, tuck your pelvis, and it's not good. It's just not good. Sue me. All right, thank you so much for doing this, and I hope you're enjoying it and you're having fun with it, and you're feeling better already. All right, I'll see you soon.